Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Happy Eid al-Zuha to all of you. Hope you have celebrated the festival and enjoyed a lot. Now it is time to study again. So today we are going to start a new chapter, that is separation of substances. Before starting this chapter, I would like you to tell that your unit tests are going to start soon. So start preparing for your unit test. Unit test 1. Okay. Now we shall start the subject separation of substances. The most of the things that we see around are not in pure form, means they are a mixture. They have two or more components, like air is a mixture of gases. The water that we see around is full of particles, that germ particles and impurities. So today we will study how to separate substances, how to get a desired substance from a mixture. Now what is a mixture? A mixture is a substance that contains two or more pure substances mixed together in different proportion. The substances which are mixed in form of a mixture are called the constituents. In a mixture, the components do not lose their identity. They are usually separated by simple physical methods. Okay, now we shall study about what is the need of separation. Why do we separate substances? First need is to remove the undesirable or harmful substance or components. You must have bought wheat, rice, pulses from the market, and you must have seen that before cooking, the small pieces of stones and insects and small pebbles are separated from it. Why do we separate it? We separate them because they are harmful to us. So, the first need for separation of substances is to remove harmful substance. Second is to remove impurities and get a pure substance. There are many impurities or undesirable substances that are not useful for us. Like the water, you must have seen water coming in your house from you must have a that what is called RO system, and you use the water from the RO. Why it is used ROs in RO are fixed in the home? To remove the impurities and get a pure substance. Next is to separate useful components. Several times a mixture has several useful components, not only one but many useful components. And so to get each useful component separately, we have to separate each of them. Like crude oil, which is digged from the earth, contain a variety of components such as petrol, diesel, kerosene and petroleum gas. We separate the components of petroleum to obtain these useful components, because there are different components obtained from the crude oil, which comes from the earth, have different things. Like kerosene is used in household, petrol and diesel are used in vehicles. So separation is also done to obtain useful substances. Now we shall discuss about the methods of separation. To separate components of a mixture, we should find out some of its properties that would be different from the remaining components of the mixture, and then we will choose the method how we will separate. Now first we will discuss separation of solid substance from other solids. In this we use simple physical methods, like first is hand picking. Hand picking means removal of undesirable solid components or impurities like stone or broken pieces of glass or small insects from useful solids by our hand. The grain and the pulses that we buy from the market may contain undesirable components like stones. They look very different from the food grains, and they are of different size and color, so we can easily identify them and separate by our hand. It is a convenient method of separation only, when the size, shape, or color of the unwanted substance is different from that of the useful one, then the quantity of the mixture is small. If it is if suppose you get a big bag of jute full of 25 kgs or 30 kg to separate by hand, it is not easy. But before cooking, you take one or two bowl of rice and then easily you separate them by hand picking. So if the quantity is small, it is easy by hand picking. But if it is 10 kgs, 20 kgs, or even 5 kgs, then you can't use this method. Then the unwanted substance is present in small quantities. Only there are some, when your mother cooks rice, you must have seen only a small a tablespoon or a teaspoon impurities are there. If the impurities are in large amount, then it is not, this method is not useful. Now the second method is threshing. What is threshing? The process of separating grains from the stalk by beating them on the ground or using a machine is called threshing. Threshing can be done by two ways. First is the manual threshing. The farmers hold the pile of crops in his hand and hit it on a ground or any hard surface. During this process, the grains are separated from the stalk. If any of you have visited to a countryside, then you must have seen this process happening. Then there are large machines called threshers, and nowadays, when advanced methods of agriculture are developed, the farmers use threshers to separate out the grains and the stalk. The third method is winnowing. What is winnowing? Winnowing means lighter components of the mixture, separation of the lighter components of the mixture from the heavier ones by using wind or blowing air. It is used by farmers to remove husk from the grains. To understand the process of winnowing, you can do a simple activity. For this simple activity, you take a flat plate, some wheat grains on it, and mix it with some tiny bits of paper or old newspaper. Then what you do? Spread a sheet of newspaper on the floor. Take some wheat grains mixed with the tiny bits of paper in a plate. Stand on a chair and allow the mixture of wheat grain and tiny bits of paper to fall from a certain height by shaking the plate continuously. Then you will observe that the tiny bits of paper are lighter. They are carried away by blowing air to a greater distance. But that wheat grains, they will cover a small distance. So from this we conclude that winnowing is useful to separate heavier and lighter components of a mixture by wind. Then the next method is sieving. What is a sieve? Sieve is a shallow vessel that has small holes. The size of the holes in the sieves depend on the size of the components to be separated. The method of separating the components of a mixture that are of different size by using a sieve is called sieving. In your home also you must have seen a sieve, which you in Hindi which you call a chalni, and at construction sites you must have seen sieving a laborer or mason sieving sand from to get pure sand and separate out small stones. So sieving are used when the size of the components are different. If the size of the components are same, then sieving is not a useful method. Okay, now we will discuss about separation of insoluble solids from liquids. Suppose what are soluble solids and what are insoluble solids. The solids which are dissolved in water are called as soluble solid, and the solids which are not dissolved in water are called as insoluble solid. Suppose sugar, if you mix sugar in a glass of water, it is dissolved in water, so sugar is a soluble solid. If you dissolve salt in water, it mixes in water and you cannot separate out identify the salt and water. So salt and sugar are soluble solids. What are insoluble solids? Suppose you take one piece of mud and mix it in water. You will see that the whole water becomes browny. Then after some time, if you leave that water, the whole of the mud is collected at the bottom of the beaker. So mud is a insoluble solid. Now we shall discuss the process of separating out insoluble solid. The first method is sedimentation. Sedimentation is what? The heavier particles that are heavier than the liquids are separated by sedimentation. In sedimentation, what happens? Suppose you take, again I am taking that same example, take a mud and dissolve it in glass of water. When you leave that without disturbing, you will see after some time the mud is separated at the bottom and the water is clear water is seen above. This process is called as sedimentation, and the solid particles that separate down is called as sediments. Then next, how will you separate it? By decantation. Sedimentation is always followed by decantation. If you pour out the upper clear liquid into another container without disturbing the sediments, this process is called as decantation. In medicines, you have seen that sometimes on the medicines or on the bottle of a tomato ketchup, it is written or on juices, shake well before use. Have you seen it? It is written shake well before use. Why? Because if the medicine or which is somewhat dry is left for a time, you can see two separate layers in medicines also, a syrup also. What happened? The heavier particles are separated at the bottom and the upper liquid is clear. So you shake it and then uses. Then what is decantation? Decantation means pouring out the upper clear liquid into another container without disturbing the sediments. This is called as decantation. Then third method is filtration. Filtration is somewhat like sieving. In filtration, the process is filtration is a process by which the insoluble solid is separated from a liquid using a filter. A filter paper is like a sieve. It is a paper, fine paper with small number of pores. And when we separate it from, when we use a filter paper to separate, it is called as filtration. The the thing which is left on the filter paper is called as filtrate, and the liquid which is collected at the bottom is called as the thing which is collected on the filter paper is called as residue, and the liquid which is filtered is called as filtrate. So these are the three methods of separating insoluble solids from the liquid. You go and study this method and go through it. Okay, this is all for today.